Okay, so peace. Yeah, you being spirit led. Okay, this is Star. Um, I couldn't really get myself together. Couldn't really decide anything different today. I just had to get on live because somebody needs to hear this. It's the levels of acceptance that apply when you're in your condition. And what I heard was somebody's grandma. Don't you dare, don't you dare think 28 on the clock. Don't you dare think that what you've put down at the weighing station isn't enough. That's what I hear her saying. Don't you dare. It's like, don't you dare. Don't you dare be convinced of the lie that you've allowed yourself to make a permanent fixture that was meant to be a temporary conditioning for you. Don't you dare. Here's why. They are fumbling. They running around with their heads cut off, okay? They out here, they trying to figure out how they could figure out, okay? They out here, they trying to move around and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What happens is that when you've decided, okay, I get to be healed and I no longer carry my mother's womb, right? Well, I keep on saying that the mother's womb. I'm not carrying the wound of the mother anymore, right? So my mother womb is healed, right? I've created sacred boundaries for myself that I'm allowing myself to be conditioned in, right? However, what happens is, and this is on a family level, what happens is, and this could be your spiritual family, your physical family, whoever. What happens is that in the womb of the mother, you take on the resentment, you take on whatever is housed in there. You take on the jealousy, you take on the hurt, you take on the pain, you take on the abandonment, right? And sometimes there's a position that you find yourself to be in where you're trying to convince yourself of the act that has occurred that makes you be worthy of the treatment, right? You literally have just been conditioned in this space. So when you start pulling stuff off of you, when you start releasing, when you start letting stuff go, when you start putting stuff down at the weighing station. Here, spirit, take this from me. Here, spirit, cleanse this for me. Here, big mom, I'm gonna put this in my internal waters. Here, I'm gonna bury this in my internal earth. Here, I'm gonna release this to, the spirit. I'm gonna, ignite this excitement here. I'm gonna create a space. I'm gonna create a sacred path for me to honor what it is that I'm being prompted to do. And you've just started to just taking things off. You started to removing things off of you. You started to get light. There is conditioning that has to happen. Why? Because you took on the characteristics of the place that you was housed in, right? You took on the conditioning of the space that you allow yourself to be seated in, right? And there's something about cleaning up house, y'all. Saturdays are really Saturdays. Another place. Sundays are really good days, y'all, um to clean house, you know, because it's something calm about the day. It's something that is sacred about preparing yourself for the new week. And when you allow yourself to really, really, really condition and cleaning your house, you get to see all of the things that you've allowed to just sit around and collect dust. Okay. Um, I'm not all the way here. My words is gonna be a little off. Um, don't worry about it. If it's meant for you, you'll be able to move in between what I'm saying and get and catch what I'm trying to say to you. You're gonna see what has been sitting in your environment. You're gonna see what's taking up root in your space. And either you're gonna be, the practitioner who gets the weed killer, or you're gonna continue to house things that are not necessarily meant for your highest good. It's your grandmother who's speaking to you. You know what I mean? Some people are afraid of their grandma because they took on their mother's womb for that relationship. What do I mean? There were circumstances where I remember basically being able to see and perceive how people felt about my mother, right? And because of how I was aware of how they felt about her, I took on a certain energy to exact a certain behavior towards those people because I had decided that their actions were unjust out of protection of what I knew to be sacred, right? And in my conditioning, right, I picked up shit. I picked up things. I picked up habits. I picked up attitudes. I picked up energies. I picked up ways of being with people. And I wasn't even in a position that I was even aware. It's like Stockholm syndrome. Y'all ever watched? I'm not petitioning anybody to watch it. I watched it years ago. It was so long ago. Called The Heist. It's a show on Netflix. I don't even have Netflix no more, but I think it was on Netflix. I believe it was. And in this show, they basically they like robbing a bank, okay? And they have like this idea of how it's like the I really don't know what their purpose was, but it's almost like Robin Hood type of thing, you know? Like they're doing this to basically expose a certain level of something in order for them to still get what they want to get out of it. But it's not just for them. They want to actually take on, create a crowd to be in support of what it is that they've decided to do, right? And in this, you watch the people be 10 steps ahead each time, And there was this lady who basically was taken hostage. And when she was taken hostage, she ended up falling in love with her captive. They had kids and everything. They called the lady Stockholm, right? And I'm thinking about her because once you decide, right, if I've been in this position, I'm going to heal. So if I'm Stockholm, right, and I'm deciding, okay, I'm going to heal, right? There's things that I've picking up, right? For her in this show, she has a whole kid, right? She has a whole kid with her perpetrator, right? I've picked up this. You get what I'm saying? This is something that I'm not going to drop off here. This is my baby, right? So there's a level of that there. There's things that you have that you will keep, all right? But then there's conditioning, there's behaviors, right, that you've taken on that were never freaking meant for you. Y'all got to be willing, one, to honor the agreement that has been made, that you've made, to honor the promise that has been seated in you, and to actually honor the fact that it was given to you. Okay. Sometimes we be so convinced that what other people have for us is what we get to have for ourselves, even though we actually are in a position to where we're seated at the space where we've been giving something that we know is specific to us. You know, Big Mama plants a dream inside of you. I have a dream to plant 200 million seeds to have flowers and gardens where the kids could be able to look outside and see flowers and gardens. You have this dream. So, because you have this idea, and this is something that was given to you, and then you want to take this dream that was planted inside of you, right? And you want to say to the the perpetrator that you've been in bed with, you want to say to the family that you've been in community with, you want to say to the friends that you've been seated around, hey, there's a new beginning that's coming. I desire this. It's not just going to be beneficial to me, but it's something that I desire for other people. And in my delight of doing this is what I see happening. You want to take what has been given to you, which is your key out, right? Which is your key out of the predicament that you find yourself to be in. And you want to convince the people who have benefited from you not healing, who benefited from you not being aware, who benefited from you not having certain levels of boundaries, to be in support of what it is that you're doing because of how you supported them. Don't require you in other people. Don't require you in other people. When you've accepted that you're the difference in the room, when you've accepted that you are chosen, be chosen. It looks like there's a million people walking one direction. To be chosen, you're the one who turns around and walks the other way. You have to process that. Everybody thinks that to be chosen, it means that there's a million people walking behind you. That's the lie. All right. That's the lie. To be chosen, you turn your direction around. Why? Because you've been given a pathway out. And this ain't going to be a walk that everybody's going to be able to take with you. So, what does that mean? I'm going to have to learn how to be again. I'm going to have to learn how to be again. I'm going to have to learn how I don't have to fight for other people anymore. I'm going to have to learn how when I love myself, I get to love the love that comes to love me. What does that mean? It means in your prior circumstance, in your Stockholm processes, in your non-boundary having season, you took on behaviors where you told yourself that you couldn't trust people. So you pushed people away who was actually for your good because you couldn't be able to discern whether or not their behaviors that you had watched other people mimic to you were actually genuine. You've allowed yourself to be in a predicament to where you've had to basically to stop people from being able to be the bliss that you've been praying for because you've taken on the conditioning of your circumstance and your situation. So you stop your bliss from arriving for you and then you be less, right? In what it is that you've decided for yourself, wanting to continue to stay in bed with the lie that you've been in your head with. Because this is about spirit space. This is about how sacred it is. Some people are wanting to have their community. Some people are wanting to be in what they know to be the elevated space, but you got some dirty ish on you. You picked up some dirty habits. You hurt people for no reason. You don't honor what it is that you require for people. You just are sitting in a space of entitlement. And that's the difference. That's the difference. When you're in a space of love, like the real kind, like the kind that's outside of this construct that lives and is present here because you here. When you in the space of that space, there's I don't know why I just said like a repertoire. There is a level of sacredhood, that sacredness, and it's like we all doing this. We all are weaving, we all alchemizing, we all focus, we all pouring in. And because we know that my pour affects your pour, I'm gonna keep on pouring into myself. And I'm gonna keep on pouring into myself. And because I'm in such a sacred space, my overflow has a destination. What does that mean? It means that people do not get to reach out to you and decide for you what it is that you get to do for them. That means that spirit will lead you to the places that you are meant to be. That means that I don't have to decide what I owe to the people who helped me get out of the thing that I was in. That means that everything in this, it agrees with each other. It agrees with each other. Why? Because we know who we are to each other. This is my family. You know what I mean? This is my love. This my community. I've spent eons with you. You feel like my sister because you've always been. I know who you are, but I might not know where from. There's a responsibility with these relationships. You cannot get in these spaces still carrying the conditioning from the person who perpetrated you. You no longer carry these wounds, right? And a lot of us have been situated, all right? And this is not to attack the mother's womb, okay? But we have to think about it. We have to think about pregnancy and what that does. We have to think about how somebody feels about your existence coming into this space. Some of our mothers knew who we would be, right? They knew who we would be. And they didn't decide for themselves to have this type of responsibility. You understand what I'm saying? Some of us have had babies and we didn't decide for ourselves that we would have this type of responsibility, but it's here, right? You're here, right? And because you made it, oh, you so special. Because you here, oh, you are so fucking divine. Because you here, because you on this side of it, right? You have a purpose. And regardless of whatever somebody else decided for me and what I was in bed with their decision, how I took on characteristics of my environment, If I get to decide I'm going to take this off, oh, I'm no longer held captive. Mm, mm. I don't got no more abandoned issues. Drop that off. Mm. Come on, spirit. I don't got no more hate in my heart. Ooh, light heart. Come on. I forgive myself. I'm going to drop that off. Oh, spirit, I forgive those who have come against me. I'm going to drop that off. Oh, spirit, I forgive myself for being a good character. Ooh, I'm going to drop that off because I accept me. I'm going to drop that off, right? I detach from the conditioning that I put myself in to be able to live in this space. They want you to know that it wasn't your fault. They want you to understand that it wasn't your fault. Grandma says she knows. I understand that you did these things so you could survive. But when you in your community, right? Mm, when you weaving through in your community, contributing, right? When you're contributing in your community, there's a level of what I know to be true, right? You don't. I'm not surviving here. I'm not surviving. You see me? See me moving his hand? I'm not surviving. I'm alchemizing. I'm thriving. I've stood up. I'm amongst the ones who had to turn away from, right? What are you turning away from? Because the direction that other people going in is not for you. The spaces that other people find themselves to be in, that they've decided and dictated that you are not welcome in, they not for you. Accept that. Accept that. You ever see a unicorn forcing a horse to accept the fact that it's a unicorn? Hey, horse, I'm special. No, fucking unicorn. Bitch, I could fly. Care if you walking on this space. I don't care if you rallying over here. Do you know who you are? We be wanting to get on podiums and we be wanting to petition for the people who taught us to heal, who taught us, oh, I don't get to be mad at you. It's because of you that I get to have the life that I desire. It's because of how you treated me that I get to make these loud statements like I deserve, right? And it's not even a point about just what you deserve, it's what you will have. I will have what my heart desires because it's required. It's a byproduct of what it is that I'm here to do. That's not no, oh, hey, I'm Stockholm. Remember me? My real name was Tiffany, right? But you called me Stockholm because you knew I was the fool who was willing, all right? My chargers, phone, stuff about to die. Hold on, y'all. I wasn't anticipating this message, y'all. I wasn't. I'm literally in here just sitting and I'm like yelling, okay? I'm yelling because it's like, don't dishonor me. Don't dishonor me. That's what they saying. You bought this here for me to weigh this. And it means something to me. That's what our ancestors are saying. What you put down, it means something to me. It means something to me. Some of y'all are carrying generations worth of trauma that you've healed. So when you put that down, when you place that in front of your team and say, here, this is what I've done, this is what I've been working on, you better honor that. You better honor that. Don't go back into the same corridors, representing the same name that your perpetrator gave to you to make them feel comfortable to accept that the role that they've played in your, forgetfulness, right? What did you say? Oh, wow. I heard something like that statement earlier. He said, don't expect you from someone. Listen, I want y'all to understand that when you find yourself in predicaments where you are trying to convince other people the story that you have to tell, when you find yourself in predicaments where you are wanting to see you in your environment, first of all, it's an amazing thing that's happening here. It's a couple of things that's happening. One, you recognize the fact that you have to be the one who turns away from the crowd, right? So that's number one. You recognize, hey, I am different than the people in this space. Cool. Bingo. We got action. All right. Second, what you understand is that you had to be the polarity of me. You the opposite. This is a space of duality here. In this weird space that we find ourselves to be in, there are polarities, okay? So if there's a need for me to erect a certain fixture of what I know to be true for me, I got to be able to say here, this is my Aquarius, this is my uniqueness. This is what I have to contribute. I have to be able to say here, this is me. I'm not going to come into it like old girl from Heist saying that I'm Stockholm. I'm not going to call myself the name that my perpetrator gave me. I'm not going to be in conditioned spaces, right? Without allowing myself to alchemize because I know that I got this swivel over here. I have something to add to the table. This is my release. I'm releasing what I am to release out into the environment. I got a dream. Remember, I said you might have a dream of planting millions of flowers just so the kids could walk outside and see that there's beauty in the world. That might sound simple to some people. What you have may sound simple to some people, but it's your key out. It's your key out. And don't be so convinced that you have to get out of the space that you find yourself to be in, that you still keep on holding on to the wounds that you receive in the womb, right? And that you've done nothing but pacify and baby and take care of, all right? Trying to make your survival something that is meant for. You knew that you was never supposed to be surviving. That's why you felt weird when you went out of your way to fight for certain stuff. You fighting for bare minimum. You getting the least out of a situation and you having to fight to get the least out of the situation. So then when people come around to the fact, oh, she got boundaries. Oh, here go Tiffany again over here. She don't want to be called Stockholm no more, I guess. Hey, Tiffany. They'll call you your name. Hey, Star. They'll say your name, right? They'll speak your name to other people. They gonna mess around and say, yeah, Stockholm. They'll mess around and show you how they still feel about you, right? But what is it you supposed to be doing? What is your job in this? Grandmother is saying to you, your job is to honor what you lay down. Honor what you've contributed to this space. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for taking on the characteristics of the people who meant you wrong. Understand why you did, because you were surviving. But in the space that you go into, you don't get to carry the stuff that other people did to you and put it on somebody else. In this space where we all over here doing all of this amazing stuff, ooh, where we got our weave going, where we over here working, where we over here moving, we flexible, we mutable, we know there's certain stuff that we're gonna be fixed on, we cardinal and we resident, you know what I mean? And what it is that we know to be true. Some of us have decided some stuff for ourselves. We done heal some stuff for ourselves. You ain't gonna be able to come with the same energy. That's the reality. It's not petty of you. It's not petty of you to have standards. Some people don't want to have these conversations. Some people don't feel like certain conversations is necessary. You know why? Because they so convinced in their conditioning, in their survival, that this is what people do. Everybody gossips. No, they don't. No, they don't. Everybody talks shit behind you. No, they don't. Everybody thought that. No, they don't. Those are the people that you was around. That was the environment that you were surviving in. Those are the characteristics of the womb that you came from. Those are the wombs that you allowed to be projected onto you, Stockholm. That's the name that you took on from your perpetrator. Don't think that you got to continue to fight you in the midst of you taking off what it is that you're putting at the weighing station. That's what this season is about. Some people think that dealing with this energy that we find ourselves to be in, oh, it's like an attack. Oh, you got to worry about what people are saying. No, you get the revealment so you could actually release. I get to know that this is what you think about me. So I don't, hold on, y'all. You get to actually honor the fact that you released. You get to honor that. You get to respect that I've let this go. I let this go. I always liked Tiffany because that was my name. I forgot that. I always gravitated towards this because this was what I liked. I forgot that. So in your conditioning, you are remembering what you forgot. And then you actually starting to have to recognize, oh, this in my spirit doesn't feel right. Spirit is revealing this to me. I'm actually wanting to show up like this, but I was only showing up like this is because I could not convince myself in the space that I found myself to be in that the behavior that I was receiving from people was acceptable. So what do? In punishment of yourself, y'all, in punishment of self, and trying to survive in situations and circumstances that you were meant to get rid of, you were meant to let go and release, and you were meant to come out of, in punishment of self, you will do the things that you would never do, that you, Tiffany, not Stockholm, would never do, all right? Because you have to find a way for you to be able to stay stagnant in this space. But when you've decided, oh, I get to be in a different space, when you've decided, oh, I get to have the difference for me, when you've decided, oh, I get to have the more for me, when you've decided, I get to accept the bliss that has come to bless me, and I'm not going to be less in anything that I'm actually doing, I'm going to actually blissfully radiate. What does that mean? That means that my people get to actually buzz when they come around me. What does that mean? That means that the ones who receive me, they were meant to receive me at whatever rate. And however they treat me, they were meant to treat me that way. Why? Because people going to have to actually even accept how they handled you. People have to accept how they handle you. Ain't no getting away from accountability. But when you take on levels of punishment of self, right? And you don't actually allow yourself to be in a situation to where you are creating levels of newness for you, but you're wanting to create a correction and judgment for other people, you still keep on spiral. I'm going to spin the block, spiral. I'm going to spin the block on this lesson. And you just keep on spinning the block. I'm going to spin the block. I'm going to go through this again. I know you took me, you impregnated me with this lie, all right? And something was made good for me out of this circumstance. Yet I'm going to continue to stay in this situation that I find not to be favorable. Why? Because y'all decided that the land has to be barren over here. And I've decided I want to go plant these flowers for the kids. This is my way out. The barren land, folks, is not going to be in agreement with you showing them how they decided something wasn't abundant, but you made it wealthy. You poured your essence into it. You nurtured it. Oh my God. The bare minimum that you set in wanting to receive from other people, you just started giving it to yourself. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You just started giving it to yourself. What does that mean? That means that in my position where I previously made myself have to take on the weight of other people's actions, I no longer do that. I'm thriving now, y'all. I ain't surviving. So what does that mean? That means some shit don't fly over here. Why? Because there's just some stuff that just doesn't fly. It just doesn't fly. Tiffany doesn't do that. That was Stockholm that did that. Tiffany doesn't do that. So when you're in a situation to where you're trying to convince yourself of a thing that somebody else has for you, you literally are disregarding the seed that's actually been planted inside of you. You disregarding the key that is going to give you access to the portal that you're opening up. This is opening up regardless. Grandma said you better not play with what you lay down. Don't play with it. Do not play with it. Oh, she's so mad. She knew who this lady was. You were mad at her for being a certain way to the person that she knew who was perpetrating you. All right? And you took on responsibility of actually having the fight that somebody didn't decide to have for themselves. All right? You took on the responsibility. Baby, call me back. I'm on live. You took on the responsibility of even wanting to have and carry those wounds because you knew that you could carry them. You better put that stuff down. It don't matter if these people decide to be healed or not. It don't matter if these people decide that you get to go plant these flowers that your heart is desiring to make the world beautiful with. It doesn't matter what little that you actually going to go to the restroom, dear Sierra. It doesn't matter, right? It does not matter. They're going to have to come correct. They're not going to have to deal with you. They're dealing with their own spirit, y'all. When you be deciding that you got to punish and you got to be in judgment of people, you got to be in a position to where you're trying to convince people of what you're worth of. You're trying to convince people of the new story that's being told. You're trying to convince people of the lies that's been said and the what's happened. You don't got to do all of that. First of all, here you go, spirit. Yep. While they was gossiping, the person who turned around from the crowd, the chosen one who had to turn away from, right? Oh, we over here, his spirit. Oh, yeah, I see what y'all saying. This is what you do in this season. You release. You don't sit and hoard all of the crap that's coming up. You release and you sit in full awareness of the revealment. I'm going to let this stuff go. I'm dropping it off. Why? Because it got to be weighed. Why? Because I'm meant to be lighter when I get to this next space. Why? Because all of the people who came to me before, they already knew why they had to turn away from me because I was still carrying circumstances. I was still carrying survival, tactics. I was still carrying underhanded behavior. I was still carrying the levels of what I had to condition myself in for me to stay here. You got to do certain stuff for you to fit in to this toxic environment that you found yourself to be in. There's things that you're going to have to put on. There's outfits that you're going to have to wear for you to mimic the crowd that you find yourself in. That's why you can't wear the yellow outfit. That's why you can't put on, the striped hat and the bill. I don't know, something crazy and outrageous. You can't do that. Why? Because Louis Vuitton has not said this. Gucci has not said this. All of these big brands who the crowd has decided, okay, aren't doing the things that you're doing. Why? Because you're a creator. You're a creator. You create designs. You make the shit that people wear. You don't actually let other people dictate for you. So when you get in a space where you alchemizing and you part of the weave, you actually contributing, you're actually adding to, you're actually facilitating levels of newness for other people. You're poor because you're so full in your spirit. Your pour is enriched. So what you give to other people, when you arrive to certain circumstances, when you arrive to certain things, it's so intentional. It's so powerful. It's so life-changing. All right. You do not have the hands for a lot of the crap that you was doing. All right. Your people are not going to allow you to hurt them. Be responsible in this space and watch what you lay down, and you bet not pick it up again. You don't have to be responsible for the weight that other people are carrying because they decided that that was your responsibility. Somebody's mama is deciding, you owe this to me. You owe this to me. You owe this to me. Nah, I didn't support you. Nah, I didn't love you. Nah, I called you Stockholm when I knew your name was Tiffany. Right? I robbed you of what it is that you could have experienced, and you've healed from me. And because you've healed, you owe the healed version of you too. You better not keep on getting in bed with the lie that other people are wanting to convince themselves is your truth. Our ancestors is doing some work behind the doors. Our ancestors is some crazy, crazy work. Crazy work that's happening. And only the ones who's sensitive enough to the energy is going to be able to actually see all of the stuff that's actually taking place. So if you know that you've been in a situation where you've been conditioned to ignore your own vessel that housed you and your energy and your essence, be quiet. Be quiet this year. Be quiet. Not shut up and cut off your throat chakra, but stop fighting for strongholds that were not meant for you. Stop fighting to be in spaces that were never meant for you. Stop not honoring yourself because of what you feel like somebody else will have for you. Don't fight, y'all. Don't fight. You actually have to remember. It's the remembering. I remember what you did to me. But I don't got to punish you. You know why? I punished myself all of these years while I was around you. And I took that off. And I'm not going to pick that back up. I punished myself for not being like y'all. I punished myself for not liking the gossip. So I had to sit on the phone and listen to this crap when I knew that you and the person you was talking about was wrong. I punished myself for having to be in this space where I knew what these people said about me, but I still smiled in their face because why? I dealt with the person who gossiped, and then they went and smiled in the faces of the people that they done sat and talked about. You done took on some characteristics that was never yours. So what's going to happen is in order for you to get to this next door, you got to actually be fully aware of self. That's it. That's it. Who cares? Who's in support of you? Who cares about where the crowd goes? Who cares about the likes? Who cares about the contribution? Who cares about who's in support of the dream that's been planted or seeded in you? Your people will enrich you in a nourishment that you will not be able to have hands to hold. My gosh. Your people will love you in ways that it will honor everything that you ever knew was meant for you. All of those podiums that you stood on for so many years, yelling out, I deserve this. I'm entitled to this. I gave this. You owe me. Huh? You don't got to have those conversations with your people in your community where you're contributing. You don't got to do that. Why? We done all went through our own stuff, sis. You still got some healing to do, sis. That's how they're not even about to let you can't get into this space if you're still carrying that dirty traces of what it is that's been sprinkled into your essence. You better get you a little comb. You better a fine tooth comb, the smallest comb that you could find, okay? Almost like them combs they have for people who get lice, all right? And you better get all of that nasty, yucky stuff up out the mix. Get it out. Get it out of there. It don't got no space. It don't got no room. This is divine. So all of this messy crap, all of this petty crap, all of this, oh, well, I just forgive myself. Like I really didn't do nothing. So it's like, I can't really have this dream because this dream would be not just good for me. This would be good for everybody. And all I did was forgive. Do you know what that's worth? That's what she's saying. Do you know what that's worth? I didn't forgive myself. Your mother didn't forgive herself. Your grandmother, your great-grandmother didn't forgive. Your great-great-great-grandmother, your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. So you literally are healing generations worth of forgiveness. Watch your mouth. Don't keep on trying to convince yourself of the space that you're in, needing to have space and room for the thing that has outgrown your current circumstances. Know that you're going to be moved up. You're going to be placed somewhere that has the capacity to seat the seed that has been seeded inside of you. Know that and accept it. Detach from the lies. Live in full forgiveness of every part that you've played in every story that has come to your face, every story that has been in your environment. Live in that and embody the truth. Embody the truth. Communicate the new beginnings in your foundation so you can receive your full abundance. Understand that. You live in levels of what it is that you speak. All right. So if you got a new idea, if you got a new thing, if you got a new promise that has come to you, and even if it's an old promise and you just remembering it for yourself, allow yourself to be in a space where you no longer carrying the wounds of your mother. I got boundaries. So I know that I don't gossip because my people don't gossip. We don't got to talk about nobody. We too busy. That be the thing. You watch people who actually sit in corridors running their mouths. Watch them. Watch people who do that. They are bored with their own spirit. They bored. You know what that means? I'm not encouraged enough for me to heal myself. This is the understanding, hearing. It's not judgment. I'm not encouraged enough to focus on myself. I'm not encouraged enough for me to do the thing that makes me feel proud, me be happy, so I could get to my community of my people who will be in support of me, so I don't have to continue to survive in spaces where I would ever attack the bliss of somebody else. I get to clean house. I get to dust all of this dust up. I get to breathe the fresh air. I get to have the new experience. Hell, I get to have the flowers in my yard first. I get to see what the effect that I was going to have on other people first, right? I get to be full in who it is that I am first. So I can then honor the task that I've actually been put out there to do. I get to honor the steps that my spirit team is giving to me. I get to honor what it is that I'm to contribute to other people. And because I honor my contribution, I'm going to honor what I'm contributing to. And that is the collective. That's your community. You know what I mean? This old stuff that you done dropped down cannot be amongst all of that. Why? Because they also have to contribute. So if you're healing and in your healing, you let go of the wounds, all right? You let go of the projection, you let go of the behaviors, the characteristics, and you get to actually be seated in your character. Oh, Spirit, I received this divine character. That's what you do. Just start picking up. Only when Big Mama says so. I'm going to pick up what you have for me, Big Mama. And because my hands is light, right? I got space and I had the capacity to hold what's for me. So guess what happens? When people come back in, they want you to be recognized as the old name that they had for you. It don't work. Why? I've already picked up my self-worth. I done already picked up my awareness of self. I know who I am. I'm not going to even acknowledge this. Why? Because that bitch is dead. She gone. She's non-existent. That person's gone. Stockholm don't exist over here. I'm not in a position to where I'm trying to convince myself of the lies that you told. I knew that they was lies. Why? Because I've been divine in my character. I knew it. I knew that I wasn't wrong. I knew that I loved you. I knew it. Now you have to actually live in whatever repercussions of how you've handled what it is that you treated. You don't even need to get in the midst of having those conversations because that's what we'll be doing, y'all. We'll be sitting and we'll be even combating what we feel like spirit is doing. I did this a lot, y'all. It's like because you might find yourself in the midst of the crowd, right? You might find yourself in the midst of your spirit team and you hear it because our spirit team we got some warriors on our spirit team, y'all. We got some real warriors. We got some giants, okay? Bigger hands are over little hearts. Y'all hear me? We got some giants, all right? So when they speak, you got no business but to actually hear and allow the truth that resonates. They're going to say some stuff. Nah, this is what this person was. You might be over there and don't be that. Don't be pocket watching spirit. Get out the way. Stay focused. Be about what it is that you transforming. Cultivate and nurture the seed that has been planted in you. Don't put something down at the weigh-in station, knowing that you got to be lighter coming out of this thing than you went in, right? And then decide that you're going to grab from the old station that you have to walk away from to get to the new. You're going to stay there, y'all. And that's okay. If you've been to stay there and if it's Spin the Block City with you, if you got to spin the block on this lesson one more time for you to really get it, spin the block, sis. Spin the block, bro. Go ahead and do it. All right. But honor the truth that is in you. That's another truth I have. A lot of people who want to sit back and call me sis and bro and all of this other stuff. Well, nobody calls me bro, but y'all hear what I'm saying. We want to give people these characteristics. I'm aware that y'all don't actually perceive me to be anything that I would be considered as a sis. So we're going to call me Jamie. Or we're going to call me Star. We're going to have to actually just be accountable for who it is that we are with people when we're with people. We're going to have to actually just live in a space where we honor who it is with the people that we're dealing with. Why? Because that is a characteristic and a byproduct of the new space that you find yourself to be in. Why? Because you're not my sis. I did that because everybody else was doing it. That's okay. I forgive myself for that. I forgive myself for picking up catchy phrases, even though I knew that these things meant more to me. Even though I was aware of what you actually intended for me in the level of communication. You was trying to play with my self-worth. I got that. You can't perpetrate it no more. Nobody could convince you of anything that you haven't decided for yourself. So honor yourself now. Honor yourself. Honor the work that your team is doing for you. Oh, they love y'all so much. Our team loves us so much. Our team loves us so much. And the lie is that you alone. The lie is that you alone. You have your spiritual team with you. Spirit is with you. You know how deep you are? You know how deep you are? Do you know the company you keep? Even to the people who just watch you. Oh my goodness. The love that's there for you. You know how you could actually thrive just off of a piece of your essence? Just as long as you're willing to put down and leave what it is that has been weighed. Don't keep on trying to convince yourself of what it is that you have to carry based off of other people's conditioning. Y'all, somebody mad. Like, I know she didn't. It's literally the conversation that I was having. I know she did not just decide for me that we're going to do all of this healing to be unhealed. Some stuff about to come up. You're going to have to actually show that you embody the truth. You have to show I done accepted what I needed to accept, and I detached from all of it. You got to do a full detach. I do a full surrender. That's my stilo, right? That's my poison. I do a full surrender. So when I detached, everything goes. The good and the bad. You know why I detach? Because if it's good, then I'm gonna be able to pick it back up. If it's not, then it ain't. So I done detached and I accept it. Then I start forgiving myself because it's like, Jamie, you was never really meant to be this heavy. Come on, Star. You had so much that you actually could have contributed, but you held back. I get to forgive myself. You ain't never forgiven them. You don't never have to forgive the perpetrator. What you'll recognize is that in your forgiveness of self, you make room for the understanding of why their polarity had to be what it was. And it don't even matter. It don't even matter. I know what you did, sis. I know it. You dealing with levels of, for yourself. I hope that you work through that. You allowed this to be your experience. This was the contribution that you had. This was our exchange. We tried to alchemize, but there wasn't really no swivel here. So, okay. Let them accept the fact that you just decided to just walk away from the circumstance because you knew that there was better for you moving forward. Let them live in the fact that they chose to mishandle you. Let them live in the fact that they chose to do what they did and accept it, y'all, and detach from the responsibility of their actions. Detach from the responsibility of the roles that you played. Detach from the conditioning and accept the fact that you have been conditioning and allow the shaking to shift you into the new dimension. Don't keep on fighting against what it is that has occurred for you. Don't keep on fighting. Don't keep on trying to convince yourself of lies that have been told because you have been playing out the story in these lies. Don't keep on doing that. Don't keep on doing that. Okay? Because we will convince ourselves on Splendor Box City, because we know this. You know what happens, y'all? You see inadequacy. You character. All right? I'm going to say it the way that I want to say it. I ain't going to talk about Stockholm, Heist, Tiffany. I'm going to say it the way I want to say it. You daughter character. You big Capricorn, right? Big Capricorn. I got character. I know how to make shit work. I'm this. All right? I'm the last Mohegan in this. right? I know who I am. I'm gonna talk my shit, right? You character. You know that you done been right. You know that you done treated people good. You know that you done love people down, okay? You know that you done showed up for people. You know that you done supported people. You know the contribution that you've had in people's lives. You know what you've added to people, all right? I've been a bliss to you if you've had me in your space. Hopefully you honored that, right? I know it, right? Because I know it. I get to embody that. Character ain't about to be over here yelling. I'm not about to be. I'm character. I deserve. I'm entitled to. I'm worthy of. I should be loved. I've healed. So you got to love the healed version of. No. Oh my God. Go take it off, Sierra. I get to do this, right? I get to do this. So because you've decided that you get to do this, right? You get to actually be in a position to where you get to receive the new version of you. What is this chick's energy? What is character like when she's actually seated in a space where it's divine feminine energy? Oh, how does she act? How do you ground in this space? When I don't got to worry about the intent of the people who come to meet me, and these people are actually in a space where they want what's best for me, how do I actually receive this? That's what you're conditioning. That's the shaking that's happening that's driving you crazy. Oh, can these people be trusted? All of this stuff, I've dropped all of this stuff. Recognize the promise that's been made. Sis, bro, recognize the promise that's been made. Family, recognize it. The promise that was made. I'm going to plant these seeds because I desire that these kids get to experience the beauty that lives and exists in this world. That was the dream, right? This was the seed that was planted inside of me. So in this, you know what? I'm going to get some people who are going to come into my space as I'm dropping off and I'm getting lighter because now I have the capacity to be able to be in communion with them because I'm actually contributing. I got the seeds now, y'all. I got the million seeds. All right. Maybe I got 500 seeds. Maybe I don't got 2 million because the dream was 2 million, right? I'm only thinking for the little bit, right? Because I done planted 100 in my yard, right? Because I got to see for myself that this is going to work, right? You got to get somebody who got some, what do you call it? Fertilizer. Ooh, spirit. You got to get somebody who got some water. I call those the mist. You about to get somebody who will water your garden for you, babe. You about to get somebody who will sprinkle some of their essence over you because they want what you want as well. Good God. You about to get somebody who will actually contribute to 100,000 more. So now you got 100,000 and 500 plus. You about to actually get some help. The covering is coming. You about to get what it is that you have for yourself. You better keep the promise. Don't find yourself in no mist, okay? Trying to push that shit away. Don't find yourself getting your water poured on you, trying to remove it from you. Why? Because of the lies that have been told to you. You don't deserve this, star. Who you think you are? You from Louisville, Kentucky. You think that you about to be out here speaking over the world? We know who you are. No, they know the lie. They know Stockholm. They know the lie. They know the conditioning. They know the survival. You don't know me. Why? Because I was too afraid to represent myself in these rooms. Yet because I was character, I still made an impression. Because I was character, I still love with purity. And even when I did the shit that was flawed, my essence spoke through. So they didn't judge me. They released me in that space because they knew I wasn't ready to go with them. They coming back for you, babe. They coming back for you, sis. They coming back for you. They coming back for you. I'm speaking to you and I know you aren't here. They coming back for you. They need you. They need what you have. You better not fucking buckle up. It's knuckle up season. Knuck if you buck for real. Some people speak about it, but they ain't really living it. Some of us had to play the fool. Why? Because it was part of the conditioning. Y'all don't understand what some of us had to fight through. Y'all won't ever really know what some of us had to fight through, because some people ain't gonna ever have the audacity to get on those stage and call people out by name. How dare I? How dare I get on here and tell y'all who it was who raped me? How dare I feel like I got a right to expose these people? How dare I? That's how your people felt. They knew what you was going to do. They knew what you was going to do. They knew what you was going to break. They knew the ties would break because of you. They knew what would come if you ever had the audacity to see for yourself who you was. If you stopped looking in the freaking mirror of other people and you actually turned around and you turned away from the audience so you could see the self that actually represents who it is that you actually pouring out. You keep on looking at other people's reflection, trying to actually get who it is that you're supposed to have for you. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're not fighting, having no physical fucking hands for nobody, y'all. You are fighting for a spiritual contribution that has already been dictated. And you know what all I got to do is? Pour off. Let go. Release. Heal. You keep on running your mouth, sis. I know I'm triggering you. I know you still carrying your mama's womb. I know you are. I know you don't got no boundaries. I know you're willing to accept the less that she would have for you. I know you're willing to accept the less that he would have for you. I know, but I'm not being less in anything. I'm bliss over here, buddy. This is from my essence. This is will to me. Why? Because I'm here. Because I made it through that womb, right? I knew what was meant for me, and I decided to love that space anyways. Big character over here. I knew who I was going to be, even if I forgot. So even in the midst of me coming out of this space, I'm not taking on the weight of all of this stuff. Bye-bye. No more lock swipe over here. I'm not even looking back. I'm going to wave over my shoulder. No, do you want to take no leftovers here? Bye-bye. I'm in the new season. Bye-bye. They're going to try to come back to you and they're going to offer you some shit. Do that real quick. Nope. They're going to think that, why? You got time for this? Nope. This is. Be character. Let them keep on talking. It's going to get louder. And then here's the thing. And this is what I really love. You know what'll happen? You'll get in this space where you'll be like, ooh. They telling me to stop cutting out. You get in a space where you'll be like, okay, how do I say it? I'm trying to figure out how to say it without being ratchet. Let me hold on. It ain't no way. Just say it. All right. Because some of us, it is what it is. You'll get in a space where you'll see what it is that you've desired. So you'll see somebody, maybe they got 350,000 flowers. You said that you wanted to plant 2 million and you like, look, spirit, I had 100, what is it? 100,000, 500. Don't worry about me. Okay. Public education over here. All right. But all I had was, 150, right? I have 100,000, whatever. This person's about to offer me 300,000. Huh? What? In your character, you have to honor the quality of what it is that you have to contribute. So what will occur is they're going to come to you with an offer, mocking. They're mocking you because they want to see if you actually believe for the 2 million. It's not about money, y'all. I'm talking about flowers. This is just an idea that my spirit put in my heart because it's a beautiful thing. Somebody got a desire out there. They want to plant some flowers for the kids to be able to look out into the world and see beauty. Somebody with a pure heart. Whoever you are, bless you. Whoever you are, I honor you. And I hope that 2 million multiplies and becomes 600 billion. Okay? I hope you get that, babe. Whoever you are, right? Understand that the promise was 2 million. it's gonna be more than 2 million, y'all. That's how Big Mama work. That's the shut up that she gives a lot of us that we can't really explain. When it comes, when it finally gets to you, when you finally get that pour and you ain't in the mist no more, you're not getting those sprinkles of water. Hold on, y'all. My baby's in here losing it. Nobody say ow. Come on. You go in your room? Don't come back out. Don't come back in here, okay? Take this stuff out of here. Put this on. Now, take this out of my room. Put this on. Take this out of here. My baby decided for me that because I'm going live, that I got to do all of this extra stuff. So that's how kids are, y'all. Y'all got to be comfortable. Still got to do what you're supposed to be doing. But yeah, they're gonna come to you and they're gonna try to convince you of what it is that they've decided that you get to have. You know, they're gonna even come to you with contradictions based off of how you've decided that relationship would be moving out of it. Okay, yeah, sis, kids gonna be. All right, so it's like, let the kids be, let them be. All right, but they're gonna decide that for you. Don't let them decide for you. Don't condition yourself in a rate where you are responsible for the survival of somebody else. Okay, they have been doppelganging your energy. You don't even y'all don't even recognize how many people you held up in your fight to be accepted by other people. You don't even realize how many people that you had sitting on top of you. How many people who you actually facilitated levels of life for. You know what life is? Faith, love, works. Faith, love, works. All right? All right? You don't even understand how many people you actually are supporting. So how dare you? How dare you try to heal yourself? What am I going to do? That's what they saying. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. The essence is out the space. The one has turned away, right? The thing that made all of this expensive trash that we put all of our money in look good. They've walked away. You've turned away from the crowd. And you've been receiving your miss, right? But you couldn't actually recognize it as water. You thought somebody was spitting at you. You thought somebody was spitting at you. You couldn't recognize the dousing because they was, get this off of you. I can't really give you the fullness of who it is that you are because you're not ready to receive that yet. You're not ready to honor even you. You know what I mean? You're not even ready to honor yourself. Once you get past that spot, which a lot of us are, once you get past that spot and you're like, oh, my skin was hot. I needed the mist. It's like sitting out in the sun and you just got somebody just start dropping water on top of you. Spirit does this all the time. Don't be no water coming from nowhere. Be sitting inside the tub. Ain't nothing hanging over my head. Water just being splashed at me. You get what I'm saying? That spirit. You know what I mean? Sitting in your bed, getting water just splashed at you, right? 15% on the phone. Come on, spirit. All right. Allow what it is that is for you to be for you. And honor that you no longer have to hold these things up. These strongholds have broken. Spirit about to say, break away. Break away. Break away. Release her. Release her. Because this was about some people about to get smacked. You thought this is why you don't mess with, this is why you don't take on revenge and you wait for recompense. Because the way that somebody else's spirit will smack them up for you, Stay in big character. All right. Be you. Be grounded in who you are. How you grounding yourself? I told y'all yesterday, you go into your heart. Because the sprinkles, the mist that you've been getting, that was a sacred land. It was being misted on your heart. So if you calcify, oh, this happened to me. If I'm weighed down, oh, this happened to me. Because I've had to be weighed down. Why? Because the attacks kept on coming. The attacks kept on coming, right? The strengthening changed how you look at it. The strengthening kept coming. And what you'll start to recognize, oh, my back. You got movement of your shoulders now. I told you, when you in your community, we flexible over here. We only fixed on the stuff that we got to be fixed on. We fixed on some Leo stuff. We fixed on the stuff we got to be fixed on, right? But when it comes to certain things like communication, I don't know. When it comes to your contribution, I don't know. Like when it comes to certain things, you're going to feel differently in those spaces. So instead of you having this one characteristics that you were given by this limited community that you came from, you get to see the wealth of who it is that you are. Oh, I'm not just an artist who sings. I could paint. I could draw. I could write. I could do all of this. You thought that I could do one thing because you only seen the less of me because that's all you had the capacity to actually register. How dare I have all of these gifts? Oh, there's more to come. Why? Because you in Big Mama zone. Mama Magic is here. Oh, Big Mama Divine is here. She here. I mean, Mama's coming. Oh, you better move. You better move. You know why? Because you in the flow. You in her essence. You in her pour. And what she has for you enriches. It enriches down through generations. It's not just going to hit you. It's not just going to hit you. It's going to hit that baby in there in this other room. You know why? Because they came for your kids just because they knew who you was. These people was lower than low. They don't got no character. They came for who they could get access to. But what they didn't realize is who they was bothering. They only seen what you decided to heal, that they didn't give themselves the opportunity to heal. They only seen what you triggered and what you agitated within their spirit. They didn't see the most of you. They didn't see the most of you. They didn't actually love anything that you had to contribute. So they don't value it, right? It doesn't matter, y'all. Why? Because it's recompense season. Some stuff about to be broken away. You don't have to wait. You don't got to wait. You don't got to wait. You don't got to wait for what is for you. You got to just be in the position of actually contributing what it is that your heart desires. Y'all got some beautiful dreams. It's some homeless shelters that some people want to be putting up right now. It's some boys and girls clubs that somebody wants to contribute to their community. It's actually creating a spark that people could just look at, and because they look at it, that it charges an activation within their spirit. I'm literally just here to create a code. Somebody is on here. I'm here to just create a code that when somebody's spirit has the opportunity to receive this code, it activates and it charges in them a certain level that causes them to react and encounter at a different rate. I have a contribution here, right? And because I've stayed focused on the agreement that's been made between me and my spirit, because while I received all of this enlightenment, or lack thereof, right? I have all of this knowledge. I have all of this awareness. All of these gifts is coming online. My ancestors are saying, "Oh, you got room for more. I'm gonna give you this. Oh, Uncle Bennis used to do this. You're gonna do Uncle Benny's bidding as well. You know what I mean? You got the ability more than telekinesis. You got telepathy. You got all of these gifts, and it's cute, right? No, there is requirements, y'all, for what it is that you picking back up. You get what I'm saying? And it's not for the less of you. It's not for you convincing yourself of the fight that you've already been fighting in your survival of a thing. It's actually to help you get out of it. And it's to help you facilitate different rates of being, right? What does that mean? I get to encounter myself at the higher rate. Now I don't have to worry about friends, sister friends, family, crew who come around me who actually want the best for me. When I give them my contribution, Spirit done already gave them the other piece, big guy. So that one who came in and said, "Oh, babe, I got 100,000 for you. I don't want nothing. I just like what you're doing." Take that. When they come in and they say, "Hey, I want to put you on this platform because I see what it is that you're doing," you don't have to sit back in the baluster wondering, well, what is what I'm doing going to benefit them? You know, I know, I know, I know. You know how I know? I done sat with myself. And while I was sitting still within myself in the silence, I allowed myself to look to the side. And I seen all of the people who was in their swivel. I seen them. I seen them working. I seen how Spirit was moving for them. You know, and what you recognize is in your character of support, because you got some good characteristics, friend. You got some beautiful traits, friend. They just haven't been able to be, you haven't been able to live in who it is that you are. Do you know what that means in relationship? If you're dealing with somebody who doesn't love you, who doesn't honor you, who isn't capable of actually giving you what it is that they require from you, right? You notice that you actually don't even have the ability to love them as big and as loud as you want to love them, right? Now you're about to be in a space where you get to take the cap off of that. You just get to take the cap off. You get to have that big love. And it don't make you feel crazy. It don't make you feel crazy. You know why? Because you wasn't going to be able to come in this room without having big love anyway. Why? Because everybody in this room got big love, sis. This is all of our characteristics. You asked for this. You asked for this. You asked for this. So I'm not expecting the less for you. And if you can't contribute to what it is that I'm contributing to, I'm not going to attack you. I'm not trying to rally up nothing. I'm spirit led. So I'm only going to go where I'm supposed to be going to. So I'm not fighting no more. I'm not fighting no more. I'm alchemizing. I'm moving some stuff. I'm in the flow, y'all. Right? A lot of the stuff that was the less of you is no more. You are no longer carrying the wounds of your mother. You're not in the womb of your mother no more. And you get to honor that silver cord that has been tethered, all right? And it's sacred. Honor it, right? But that does not mean dictatorship. That does not mean revenge. That don't even mean pocket watching, waiting for Spirit to give recompense. It just means accept. My spirit kept on playing, let it all work out. It just kept on playing in my head. Let it all work out. I'm like, what is this song? What is this song? I finally look it up. Let it all work out. And it's Lil Wayne. And I'm like, all right, I listened to it. I don't really understand his, I don't really understand what he be rapping because it's like, and I'm like, all right, okay, cool. And I'm like, maybe they just wanted me to hear Let It All Work Out. It wasn't until I got to meditation that it started playing super, super, super loud. So I did what I've been taught. I pull up the lyrics and I'm looking at the lyrics. And I'm looking at them. And then I'm listening to them. And I'm hearing it. And I'm hearing it. And I'm hearing it. I'm receiving it. Let the chips fall where they may. Allow is to be. Let these towers fall, y'all. Don't continue to try to be Capricorn, fixing. No. You get to experience Capricorn in a new light. The divine flip. How she was meant to be received. How she was always meant to be treated. What you've been standing up on podiums, running your mouth, telling everybody, I'm entitled to this. I deserve. Nope. You're going to have some people that's going to come to you and it's going to knock you off your feet. I don't care about what you have sexually. I don't even look at people like that. You about to meet some real divine masculine energy. Ooh. It's so yummy, y'all. If you ain't never really, really been around a divine masculine as a divine feminine, you about to The pickings are not slim over here. You about to get what it is that your heart desires. You about to get what's required. And no, it's not going to be the bare minimum. So don't feel like you got to go being choosy. Don't feel like you got to grab up the first thing. All right? Don't feel like you just got to pick for picking's sake. I had a promise 2 million flowers was going to be planted into this world so that the kids could be able to look out into the world and see the beauty of what it is when they actually open up their eyes. There's a promise that's been made. So you know what's going to happen? You're going to receive the promise. And then the promise going to surprise you because the promise is going to be way more than what you anticipated. Not only do I have 2 million for you, babe, but I got 6 million. Bam on that. So it's a big old 8 million over here, big buddy. They was trying to give you 300,000. Do you remember that, friend? They wanted you to take the 300,000. They wanted you to think that you had to wait. They wanted you to continue to keep on acting out of character. They wanted you to mistreat the new that came into your life because of what they did, because they think that how they hurt you so bad that you're just going to continue to stay in bed with this hurt. Because some people who listen to this message, you are still in bed with your hurt. You are still attracted to your perpetrator. You are still recognizing yourself as Stockholm. You are still recognizing yourself as the name that they gave you. You still value what it is that you've been fighting for. You're not willing to accept the new that's coming to your life. And because of that, you are bored with your experience. You are bored of your existence. And you keep on wanting to fight the thing that's come to be bliss in other people when you don't even understand that those people have been put in your vicinity for you to be able to know that you get to have it too. Some people literally are just there so you can feel their essence. They don't got to do nothing for you. But in Scorpio, there's always this desire to get people to rally behind us, the crowd. There's always this desire to have people contribute. Why? Because you're going to figure out how to get other people to give you money to do what it is that you got to do. You're going to figure out, and they're going to want to do it, right? But when you get a seed that has been planted in you and you contribute to that seed, you water that seed, the people who come in to pour over you, they only pouring into a full cup. They're not pouring into a space that lacks. They know the abundance that will come from that. And even if they don't receive an abundance from that, they know that it is a part of the whole. Why? Because they spirit led and they spirit done guide them to give it to you. I hope y'all hearing me. I hope y'all hearing me. I was over here talking smack with somebody. Grandma said, you better stop it. Grandma said, you better stop that. She got a potty mouth. She cusses. I like that. That's how I like it. She said, you better stop it. You better honor what you dropping off at the weighing station. Let it be weighed and accounted for. Let it be weighed and accounted for. Let it be weighed and accounted for. And for those who are still trying to figure out how to heal, watch your mouth. Or don't. Watch your mouth or don't. You know, play with it and get played with. Why? My hands is light, y'all. I really am a princess. Right? I'm like, for real. I'm not carrying no bag ladies over here. I'm over here drinking my tea in a glass, okay? Play with somebody else. I don't got no time. I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you. Y'all better start fighting. Let your spirit do the work. Why? Because they want to. That's your community. They're going to do what they want to do because they want to do it. Not because you feel like it's owed to you. So don't take that bull crap. Don't take your conditioning from your survival trying to convince your soul family what they're supposed to do for you. They're going to do it because they want to do it. Come on, y'all. I hope y'all hearing me. This is for somebody. The new space that you find yourself to be in will honor you. Why? Because they know who you are. Why? Because you know who you are. Why? Because I showed up in embodiment of who I am. And even as I move through it, I'm still going to have to accept. I'm going to have to detach. I'm going to have to forgive. And then I get to be. I get to be. I get to be. I get to be. You can't put something on something that was never meant for you, right? You can't take the essence of somebody else trying to make it yours. Even if you succeed at what you feel like you're doing, it's temporary. Why? Because you never had the energy to actually fortify it. You couldn't ground this energy. You ain't got no power. Some people could be spiritually aware and still not have no power. So I'm talking loud enough for somebody to hear. You said loud and clear. I appreciate that. Somebody needed to hear this. Somebody needed to. Somebody needed to hear this. This was for somebody. Somebody needed to hear this. Like somebody, it's like we're yelling. I'm going back. You said I'm learning that and working through that. I hope you are. Said I had to be okay with knowing that I was meant for people for a certain time period. And it was lessons in it for me, as well as instead of being upset. That's the key. That's the key. That's the key. That's the key. It's okay. You might not have known me before. You know, get to know me. You might not have known this version of me before. Get to know me. You know, you might have had a misinterpretation of who you thought I was based off of the people who had previously experienced me. Get to know what it is for yourself. You might have thought that I was a certain way because of how I had to show up. Honor the truth that gets revealed to you in this season. Okay? Honor the truth that it is that gets to live in this season. You know, it's not necessary. Some people feel like, you know, they may have contributed too much to what it is that is for you. Nobody ever leaves your space for the ones who have really been chosen. I want y'all to hear this and hear this loud and clear. Because of your character, because of what you feel like is common sense, that's not common, y'all. I want y'all to understand that it's not common. Common sense is not common. Okay. Some of these people are out here, they teaching people. Oh my gosh. They out here, they got a community of people. They have a crowd. Okay. And this is not for everybody. This is for who it's for. Okay. And they still ain't healed. You are agitating somebody's spirit by actually doing the thing that they run their mouth about doing. Let them be agitated. It is what it is. You better not pick it back up. That's what somebody grandma said. Yes, it was valuable to us. Yes, your self-worth, you receiving clarities and levels of who was it? Yes, I ain't gonna say your name, but you receiving levels of, oh, okay, I don't have to expect to receive me from you. I don't have to think that because I am this way, that you have to be this way. I don't have to come into this space and think that you're gonna have to honor the seed that has been planted in me. Y'all, they've been praying the church prayer, the religious prayer. Okay. They've been praying the God fearing prayer, right? For years. And God still ain't spoke to them. Okay. They've been praying for years, for centuries. And here you go, having the audacity to come in and actually start hearing spirit. They're not happy with what it is that you have. Let them not be happy and let it fall as it may. Let it be worked out. It's already been worked out for you. You don't got to worry. You don't got to stress no more. You don't have to fight no more. Get to know who you really are outside of your trauma. You know, get to accept that you don't have to be in trauma for whoever that was for. Get to accept that I actually get to heal from this. I get to release this level of relationship. And guess what? As I release this, Big Mama has also decided that it has no space and there's no room for it at where I'm going. There's no room for it. So what does that mean? It's going to look like some people going to be left behind. It's going to look like some people not in support of what it is that you bringing in, that you're grounding. It's going to look like having to see people's true characteristics. It's going to look like having to have full revealment of what spirit has always known, which is why you felt this when you was around this person, which is why you heard this, which is why you saw this. It's not just about getting the awareness of what's being said behind your back. It's about being able to honor that everybody who comes to you now does not mean you bad. But what happens is, even some of the crowd goers who see you doing this, they see you waving goodbye to the crowd. They see you done turned around and you done turned away from, right? They see you done separated. The tides have been parted and they all walk into their death, right? Whatever the hell they walk into, okay? They all are following with this hive mentality, okay? They're all guided somewhere and they being led somewhere. LED, like led, but not lead, okay? They're not leading in their life. Let them be. You're going to have some people who actually going to see that you taking the light away from the crowd. You're going to have some people see that you're removing what it is that you poured in. And they're going to try to come for you. I told y'all this a couple of days ago. They will be back. Why? Because you got to embody what it is that you done decided for yourself. What does it look like embodying it? If I have self-worth now, you can't come to me and offer me the 300,000, right? When I already was told that I was going to be planting 2 million. I don't have to get my 2 million and then convince the bearer that I'm receiving the 2 million from that I'm owed the 2 million. Oh, they want me to have the 2 million. And because they have such an abundance, that's what you don't even understand, y'all. Think about the imagery with spirit, how they have the imagery or the fake guy who they call Jesus. It's like the little white man holding the teddy bear, right? And it's like the small teddy bear. You pulling on this small teddy bear, but then behind his back, he got this huge thing. It's kind of like that, but it's like way bigger. You got to dream bigger, you know, you got to think bigger. It's way bigger, right? It's like it's so large that you can only see the eyeball of this thing. It's so huge that you can only see the eyeball of this thing. You've been trying to call your spirit into your forefront. You've been in your meditation and you just keep on seeing an eye. That's because this is giant. Oh, it's so massive. It's so massive, right? It's so massive that it's like, I'm going to give you the 6 million because I don't want to overwhelm you if I was to give you the 12 billion that you was always meant to have. You know, but I just stay in position and I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the money changing me. I'm not worried about being around certain people now. I've been in these rooms. My name has been in these rooms. Spirit put me in rooms that little Jamie didn't know that she deserved to be in. So when I got in those rooms, I might have acted out of character. You know, I might have felt like I had to do some shit for me to belong in this space. But now I'm seated within myself. So when I show up, I show up. Posture correct. Attitude to match. No finesse in my spirit. I don't have to cheat to be here. I'm not sitting in this crowd wondering how I got here, wondering how she got here. I'm not gossiping in my spirit. I'm not worried or counting spirits' pockets, wondering how Big Mama got enough to give me my 12 billion and give her 20 billion. I'm not worried about nothing but the promise that has been kept. You know what that means? That means that these babies get this 2 million flowers. That means that it's happening. It means it's happening against all odds. It's happening, y'all. Y'all don't understand what I had to fight through. I was in an extended stay writing that book. I was in an extended stay writing that book. I was in an extended stay speaking wealth into me because I knew I was more than that full-size bed. Okay? I knew that I was more than that sharing of the energy that I had to be a part of. I knew that I was more. You know what I mean? I knew that I was more. So anybody who tries to come into my space in this vicinity, when I know what spirit is actually holding on the other end for me, they can't play with nothing that I have. They can't play with nothing that I have. All they could do is sit and be bored in their own existence because they're not ready to fully heal. They just running their mouths. There's nothing that anybody on the outside could ever come at me with. Why? Because I had to be fortified. I had to go down to the pits. I had to descend for me to ascend. And I did it appropriately with character. So when other people call themselves trying to even humble you in what it is that you have to contribute, let them be. Let them be. Let them be. Understand where it comes from. Understand why it is. Understand where it is. Understand what they haven't healed yet. Let spirit deal with them. Let spirit deal with them. You don't get your hands dirty, baby. You keep your hands light. You keep your hands light. Know that spirit's covering them kids. Know that you don't got to worry about nothing. Know that nothing that is coming to fight you at this point has a fighting chance because they have no clue who they are actually fighting. Let them be. Let it be. Let it be, y'all. Let it be. It's okay, y'all. It's more than okay. It's okay, y'all. It's more than okay. They can't take what spirit has for you. It was preordained. Oh, it was preordained. And the lushness of it all. Do you hear me? The lushness of it all. The lushness of it all. Yes, people gonna know the truth about them. Yes, people gonna know what they did to you. Yes, they're gonna have to deal with it. Their shit will fall apart. Why? Because they cannot fortify, they could not ground what it is that spirit had for you. They only got the 300K. You had 2 million. But you were trying to convince yourself of the 2 million when spirit couldn't even tell you, nah, babe, put a 10 in front of that. Add 10 more, add a couple of zeros. We got 12 billion, big guy, right? So when you keep on moving through all of this stuff, allow what comes to the forefront to be revealed. Allow it to be revealed. Allow yourself to see it. Don't worry about trying to convince the audience, oh, I've been wronged. I'm character over here. I've been wronged. They did this to me. They hurt me. Y'all can't be in support of them. They don't keep on. Shut up. Be quiet. It's okay. I feel your energy. I feel you. I feel you and I love you. I love you and I love those babies. I want you to hear me. Yes, I'm talking to you. I want you to hear me. I know. The ones who know, they know. The ones who know, they know. They know. Why? Because your spirit done spoke you up in rooms that you weren't aware of. And while we were being covered, while we were being protected, while we were being conditioned, there was a shaking that was happening, right? And in the midst of that shaking, right? Correction was made. Correction was made. Spirit had to change some shit, right? Spirit had to redirect some shit, right? Spirit had to let some people be seen for what they are, right? Spirit had to actually make people have to fall down on their knees for them to have to deal with who it is that they've been to the chosen one. They have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with what it is that you decided was for me. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with how you carried yourself around me. You're going to have to deal with how you treated character. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with it. Why? Because it is what it is. 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 Let it all work out. Why? Because it's going to work out in my favor. It's going to work out in my favor. And these peanuts that the peanut crowd and the audience wants to throw at the end of the credits, what they want to throw at the end of the credits, what they want to say at the end of the credits, what they want to try to throw at your back to try to get you to turn around and to see if you're going to keep on fighting. But they want to continue to try to contribute or pour into your midst because they don't understand that the real water has come. The real pouring has come, right? What they want to actually do will never hit. It will never hit. It will never hit. It will never hit. It won't land. It won't land. They won't succeed at it. You don't got to convince yourself of the fact that they won't succeed at it. You got to actually convince yourself, ooh, in me, Spirit created a seed that even in the darkest days, I got to see light. You know, even in the darkest days, I got to see light. Even in the darkest days, I got to see light. I thought that I had a community of people who loved me, you know, and I was so blessed that my womb had been blissed, right? And I'm nurturing this baby, and then the baby doesn't come into fruition. So as I'm healing, I'm thinking that the community who loved and honored me in a way to where they would support this baby that had come, that they would also love and honor me in a way where they would support the baby that had chosen to be here at a different rate. When you have to deal with the truth of what people were always meant to be for you, you accept the truth, you detach from the reality of what it is that you've been conditioning yourself in. You forgive yourself for expecting what you thought was common sense and basic necessities, basic needs, and then you embody the fullness of what it is. Oh, now I got spiritual armies around me. Oh, now I got warriors around me. Oh, now the things that people might have been able to catch or throw at me and actually land, there's arms that have been rallied up around me. So that baby that you wanted to sit and run your mouth about, talking about that wasn't here, talking about that there was a lie. You hear me? Because it's like you've been watching the lies. You've been on the lies, but you don't like them. You've been sharing the lies, but you don't think. Spirit is not quiet. There's foresight and precognition for the ones that have been chosen. Why? Because we get to know. We've been knowing. We've been aware, right? Just because I don't speak on you don't mean it ain't. We've been knowing. We've been aware, right? What you thought wasn't in existence is the very thing that's going to make you have to fall down to your knees. It's going to make you have to fall down to your knees. It's going to make you wish that you would have watched your mouth. Because the thing that you didn't think exists is the thing that you now have to look at, and it's scaring the shit out of you. I was fighting you for the 100K that you had. I played with you and I mocked you with the 300K. And then you're going to show up in my face with 1 billion? How dare you? That's how they feel, sis. That's how they feel about it. That's how they feel about it. Let them feel that way. Let it work out for you. Let it be in your highest good. Let it be in your highest good. Allow these people to be revealed to you. Honor what has been placed before you. Let your spirit team get dirty. Let them do the work. It's dirty business. Real crazy business. You get what I'm saying? Real crazy business. You know what I mean? And what other people feel like they had the ability to touch, let them. Let it be. Ain't no stress, ain't no worry. Ain't no stress, ain't no worry, ain't no anxiety, ain't no fear. Those are lies, all right? Allow it to be. Allow it to be. Yes, we see them. Yes, we know who they are. Yeah, we've always known who they are. Some of us had to play the fool. And if you ain't never been told that you had to do that, you don't know what that means. You don't know what that means. Some of us had to sit in corridors and see what people were intending for other people. Y'all have no clue what that feels like. So when y'all come playing games with people who've been chosen, get ready. Your head about to spin, baby. Your head about to spin because my team over here, my team over here with big bats, giants. We don't miss. Bam, down there. We seen you fly ball. We've been ready, right? Why? Because it's precognition and premonition season. Foresight season. We knew the longitude and the latitude of what you was going to throw. We knew what you was going to do. I seen it on you. I just sat with it because I was waiting for you to be able to actually see if you would honor what you thought to be true, because they think that you got light on you. but they so full of themselves. They so full of themselves and their not healing ability, right? That they will stay stagnant in a situation, okay? That they would stay stagnant in a situation, that they would hurt their bliss that has come to bliss them in order for them to get the blessings that they've been lying to other people about. Let it be. I wash my hands. I'm free. I no longer carry the wounds of my mother. I no longer carry the wounds of my father. I no longer carry the wounds of my sister. My physical family has done their job, and I protect them, and I love and I honor them for what they had to contribute to me. The people who came in who I thought would be friends, who weren't able to have the capacity to seek the soul that has been resting in me, I honor that. I honor you and your gossiping ass. I honor you, you running mouth motherfucker. Okay? I honor you. I honor you sitting and thinking that what you said wasn't going to be heard. I honor you and thinking that, oh, she think, oh, why people keep on. I honor all of that. You know why? Because Spirit did not want you to be by my overflow. They didn't want you to even get the midst of me. They didn't want you to get the midst of me. When I go into this next season, there's no room for you. So the fact that I've turned away from you, the fact that I did not decide to argue back with you, the fact that you've never had the opportunity to have no face-to-face combat with me, you better be happy. You better be happy. Defeat is not any part of my energy or my essence. You better be excited about that. You better be thankful within your spirit that you were protected from the things that you did to certain people. You better be okay with that. You better be okay that I chose to not be Lot's wife and look back. You better be okay that I've been present within my spirit. So because I'm present, my energy is here. So I get to have this corridor that I found myself to be in. I'm coming in to meet my higher self. I'm over here to meet my higher self. I'm over here to meet who it is that I'm taking out this forefront. I'm over here to meet who it is that won't be because of me. You get what I'm saying? I don't got no time for you. I'm so excited with me. I am such an interesting person. Like I'm so actually excited about who it is that I have to be with me that I'm so busy that I don't have time to talk about you. That I don't have time to gossip, that I'm only worried about the swivel. I'm over here alchemizing. I'm over here moving in the flow. I'm never going to stop for you. I am that. People think that what you're doing is because of the crowd, because of what you've decided to continue to take on previously. They do not know the new of you. Get to know you for yourself first and know that whoever is coming into your forefront, know whoever shows up, whoever arrives into your space, that they're meant, that they're necessary, that you are for yourself, and that you don't have to worry about what it is that other people are wasting their time with. Their time will be wasted. And they're going to have to sit and keep on watching you elevate. You know what I mean? And then allow yourself to be in a position to where your heart don't harden. Because that's what a lot of us want to do. Because we want to be part of the revenge party. We want to sit back and watch spirit. Recompense is coming. You want to sit back and keep on running your mouth. Some of us know to be quiet. Some of us are those chakras is spirit led. So if I'm on here speaking, I don't know about nobody else. If I'm on here speaking, it could never be ego driven. If I'm on here speaking, it could never be. Why? Because I've been led to this space. I don't really want to be on here. No, babe, I don't really want to be on here. Somebody need to hear this. I'm happy that you came on here. You know what I mean? I'm happy that you knew well enough for you that you get to get whatever spirit wants you to have wherever you can get it from. Spirit gave it to me in a Lil Wayne song, y'all. Why? Because spirit could utilize anything. Anything could be utilized. Anything could be utilized. Anything could be utilized. Anything could be utilized. I want to say your name, but understand your mama cannot take from you what spirit has for you. It's your real mama is doing, not your physical mother. Your real mama decided this. Your real one. So why they so religious and they out here more of a witch than you'll ever be. Okay? Not the good kind, the one that they done put on TV for us to see. All right? She can't take from you what spirit has for you. So you don't keep on fighting her. I know you hear me. Don't worry about the fact of what money that you don't have to get help or to get access to certain people. Some of us is expensive. You're going to have to accept that. Some of us we ain't cheap to deal with. We ain't cheap to be in bed with. We ain't cheap to be in communion with. You're going to have to accept that. And you're going to have to quit trying to discount other people's spirit so you could be able to know what your spirit told you. You need to be able to be comfortable in the truth that you've actually garnered and gathered for yourself. She don't get to take it from you no more. So don't let her. She can't throw nothing at you no more. You were already more powerful. I know that this baby's more powerful than me. I be having to convince her. Look, sis, you got to listen to me this life. You got to listen to me this life. You would sit here and help me. I know that she's more powerful than me. But then the other side of that comes in. Ooh, Jamie. Ooh, Star. So that spirit that you was triggering, that fight, that argument, that oh, but mama, why? That oh, but if they did this to you, why would you do this to me? It's like if you carried this wound, why would you want to put this on? You don't gotta do that no more. I get it. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. I get it. I hear the dream that you had before you even knew that I was carried in your womb. Oh, I get it. Oh, that must have been hard for you to see less for yourself, but then to birth the more that you wouldn't decide that you get to become. I honor you, mama. I honor you in love and light. I honor you. I honor you for deciding that you couldn't heal from this thing. And I heal it. I take on 10 generations worth of healing. That's my responsibility. I break the tie. I don't have to be seated in the lie. I get to be I turned away from the crowd. I didn't take no L. I took lessons. I turned away from the crowd. And in the midst of all of the things that you felt were really, really part of my damnation, that you really thought was my defeat, you saw my dissension, right? Because see, people will see you descending. I said, we're not on the escalator no more. We're on an elevator. Why y'all think I said that? Because you're going to have to go down to get some shit for you to pop up. And even if there's a hold button that's been pressed, because you went down far enough. Because some people, you done went down far enough. You done went to the pits. You done went down far enough. You got to be able to understand that your flow, your movement has been dictated. Mommy. All right? Mommy yelling at God. I'm not yelling at God. My baby think I'm yelling at God. This is like, people don't get it. Because sometimes we force ourselves to stay in bed with the lie. We force ourselves to stay convinced of the trauma. We are so indebted to this thing because we've been with it so long. Here, get your bowl, because that's you. I'm stressing you out. Go get your bowl. Stressing my baby out. I ain't about to be on here that long. We don't have to lie to ourselves no more. You be singing bowl. It's right there on the floor, right here. Right here on the floor. And take it in the other room. I'm about to come off of here, y'all. I done said what I needed to say. I know that y'all received it. It's right there on the floor. And take it in the other room. Don't worry about it. Your hands is light. You are character. Your character will be honored. Your contribution will be respected because you respected it first in the other room. And sit and hit it. Go ahead. And breathe. Mommy's good. And you okay. You know what I mean? You okay. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I know that you hear me. I love you. No, it don't matter what they were able to get off. It don't matter what they were able to get off. It don't matter what they were able to get off. It don't matter the little wins that they had. It don't matter what they've made off of your energy. Big Mama's here. Big Mama has arrived. And it's her magic that you get to experience. That's what y'all need to be. That's what's playing in my head. Close, Michael Jackson. Like, just get in. Just start, like, get in your flow. Get you, like, turn you some music on. Okay. Turn you, like, get you a glass of some good tea, y'all. I got the Womb Wellness tea once again because it's my business and it tastes freaking amazing. All right. Get you some tea. And just start dancing out. They're gonna be trying to figure out what you got going on because it's like, why you over there dancing? Because I'm celebrating. It's a celebration. Yes. Cheers. Why? They think that what you put on the table was all you had to offer. That's why. They think that what they stole was what you actually was. Lies. Lies. Don't worry about it. You got it. I love it for you. I'm in support of it for you. I'm in support of it for you. Congratulations. Be blessed. Be abundant. Let your wealth pour through. Know that it's going to continue to pour because Big Mama's bowls don't lack. Know that cord that you have that is the rod, okay? Know that it's there. And know that you get to be in a space where you're enriched. You're loved. Get to experience the Capricorn who is honored, whose character is appreciated, who is respected. Get to do that. Get to know who you are. We can't paint, baby. Get to know who you are. Get to know who you are away from the traumas that you've been calcified in. Okay? And do that and heal. All right? I love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Be blessed. Know that spirit has you and always will. Ashe.